Hey traders, John Howell here. What I want to do in today's video is I want to just share with you what's happening on the big macro cycles. Obviously, a lot of the times I'm talking about short-term technical analysis and trading systems and so on and so forth. But I want to talk to you about massive long-term cycles and why I believe there's a supersonic sort of boom that is coming. What I believe is one of the greatest bull markets is coming, very, very, very soon over the next couple of years, and why just keeping an eye out for that is going to be really beneficial to you. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders. So the reason why I wanted to do this video, because I think a lot of times one of the biggest mistakes that we make, right, we're always so focused on the now. Right, so if I'm looking at the S&P 500 right now, I'm looking at, say, a 5-minute chart or even just a daily chart. One of the biggest mistakes we can make, right, as you know, is just focusing so much on the now. Like, what actually happened to this candle? Oh, this is a pin bar reversal. That's it. It's going to go up, and so on and so forth. And by the way, guys, if you know anything about I've been trading the markets for 19 years myself now, and over this time, I started with that, right? I'm like, oh, here we go. We have a down candle here. We have another down candle, and okay, so on and so forth, right? So the chart reading side of things, guys, is so important. Like how to actually properly read the chart. So the chart is, because the chart's always telling us a story, right? How to actually properly read the chart, read the patterns, and so on and so forth. And that's where, guys, that first thing in the description, that free trading course, that free trading course actually goes for a long time. But the thing is, it's about 4 or 5 hours long, that first trading course, and then I've got a whole slew of other training that my system is going to be sending you as well too. So if you're interested in that, guys, go get that, because the reason why is because I spent about probably 2 or 3 hours in total walking through some really powerful chart reading stuff as well too. Also, guys, when you do fill in your email address for that free trading course, that link in the description there, guys, the very first video, you're going to see something that I'm actually taking on a massive challenge right now, a live trading challenge, and it's just I'm so excited for it, guys. I'm not gonna reveal it too much to the public, but it's never been done before, ever in history, and I'm doing it myself live, and you got to be able to watch everything as well too. Anyway, so if you're interested in seeing what this is all about, go fill that very first link in the description there, guys. Click on that, go put your email address in to get the free course. You will get the free course, but then the very first video you're going to see more about this challenge that I'm actually doing myself. I'm so excited for it. Now, the thing that obviously we do this, right? So, but one of that's from a trading perspective. So, and the thing is that if you are short-term trading, one of the biggest mistakes we make, right, is we listen to the farts, right? It's like, oh, this is the unemployment number did this, so therefore I'm going to do this. We should, you probably realize, right? You probably realize that if you are trading like that, then it's not really going to benefit you that way. Makes sense? So the purpose of this video, as I was saying before, is getting ready for what I believe is going to be one of the greatest wealth opportunities in our lifetime that is coming, right? Now, when I say is coming, the big massive cycles take time to unfold, right? Things just don't go up in one day, 1 week, right? Things slowly unfold. Now, what am I talking about here? Well, if we go back to the inflation number, okay? So check this out here. If we go back to the inflation number, if we're trying to see, okay, then where are we going on the big picture here? What is this big picture all about for when we're actually looking at this here? And so for me, the big picture for me, guys, is what? The big picture is the inflation, right? We're in inflationary times. And as you know, that history does have a tendency of repeating itself, right? It's actually really not that difficult. What is the difficult part in what I just said there? History does repeat itself, or it doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes, right? Similar things happen for the similar cause-effect relationships. But what is the hardest thing about what I said there, especially in this day and age, is the impatience, right? It's like, oh, I thought gold was going to go through a big boom and it's going down. It's like, hold your horses, right? Like, it's like, yes, gold can go down 5%, if it's going to make an extraordinary quality move, or the mining stocks, so on and so forth. So especially in this day and age, we're so instant gratification that we completely forget the big picture about what's happening, and that's what this is all about. Okay, the big picture about what's coming in this here. So if we could see here, right, we could see that inflationary problems in the 40s, inflationary problems in the 70s, and inflationary problems right now. And what do we see every single time here? What do we see? Right, we see what? We see an incredible spike. We see incredible secondary spike. First spike up, second spike down. First spike up, then came the inflationary deflationary time as the inflation came down, and then we had a big boom up, right? What else did we have? Now notice this here, right? Look at this here. Notice this here. It's just something interesting, right? We have first spike up, second spike down. First spike up, and then we go through a bit of a flattening out phase, and then we go look what happened here. What caused this spike here in the 40s? I wonder, right? Well, it's the same thing that happened in the reason why there was inflation in the 2020 period, right? It's pretty up. Now we're going through what? Now we're going through a pullback. And now we're going through a pullback in what? In the inflation number, which means there was deflation in that, or the market was coming down as they're raising rates and so on and so forth. Then it comes up, has a little sideways movement, and then what? We go through another secondary spike. But the secondary spike is always bigger than the first spike. Notice that there. Secondary spike is always bigger than the first spike, right? And so you can see that. So what does that mean? That means this. That means that as we move up through here to here, and we get a move down, what's coming? What is coming? Well, if history does repeat itself, or it doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes, and there's similar cause-effect relationships, right? It's like the analogous period is this bit here, is this bit here, and so on and so forth. So if that's true, then what can we sort of bank on that is going to come? Now, again, when I say going to come, over the next couple of years, what's going to come, right? We're going to get what? We're going to get a secondary spike. And the secondary spike is always what? Higher than the first spike, right? So that's the first thing. We're going to get that. Now, with that inflation, what happened? If you think about the inflation, like there's going to be things happening underneath the surface that cause this massive cycle that actually happens, right? We cycle, right? And so we can see what's going on through there, and we can see what's actually happening, right? We can go through these sort of cycles in that there. So if we can see what's happening through there, then when we go back to our charts and we look at probably what was the last time we had this issue was what? In the 70s, right? Right through here. This is the last time we had it in the 70s. So if that's the case, and it was in the 70s, what was one of the greatest opportunities, especially in the later part of the 70s, right? Because this was the 70s here, 70 boom, 70 deflationary, 70 towards the end of 80s. So if that's a repeat, then we're probably going to get the exact same thing here, right? So it's actually quite a simple process. I'm telling you right now, guys, millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions, and possibly even hundreds of millions of dollars are going to be made in the next cycle. And if we can just try to grasp what's happening here, a lot of the times, a lot of traders are what they're trying to grasp on what's going to happen now. Okay. So if we go back to, let me take off the moving average because we don't need the moving average anymore. Okay, and let's go back to gold. Okay, let's go back to gold. And if I look at gold as an example, okay, if I look at gold as an example and I squeeze my charts up, again, guys, this is a long-term picture, okay? There's a completely difference. If you watch my YouTube videos as of late, I'm talking about the short-term technical analysis, I'm just going off what the charts are telling me, okay? Not my opinion or not my thoughts or anything like that. And I'm pretty sure if you are going based off what you think and not what the chart is telling you, then you're probably not doing well out of trading, right? Because for me personally and my private clients, I'm always trading based off systems. When I'm a short-term trader, I'm trading based off systems and processes like that. Okay, so that's very, 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 very important to understand through there. So if we have a look at this here, let's go to the weekly chart here. You can see here. Look what happened back here in the 70s. Okay. So, but notice that it didn't really, the boom didn't really start to around 1976, 1977. So that later part, the boom here was what also goes inside with that secondary spike. And if you see this here, this is sort of like what gold has done recently, right? So you can see at the start of 70s, we had a sort of an overall move up. Now I guess we look what happened, right? We stepped up, right? We stepped up. And now, by the way, guys, for you guys that have been watching me, what is this pattern here? What's this pattern here, by the way, guys? It's what? It's the upside down L-shaped pattern. And then away we go. And then what? Higher, low. Higher, low. All right, you get the point, right? So, and then obviously, and then ending there. Anyway, all right? So upside down L-shaped pattern there. And again, it's one of the most, it's the foundation of one of the most powerful setups on the planet there. And it's something that I teach my private clients as well too. If you're interested in becoming a private client, then that second link in the description there, guys, click on that and go fill out the application form. So if we know this here, right? If we know what's happening here on, say, the gold market, and we know that we're really confident that we're going to get a secondary spike. Now, again, in due time, right? As you can see here, right? What are we looking at here? We're actually looking at a weekly chart. This is weeklies. This here was a whole 7 days. Some of you bumblebees in the chat box below, get your knickers in a knot about what happens on a 1 day basis, not all right, because you're looking for that get rich quick scheme, right? But anyway, those who are a bit more patient and understand what I'm talking about here are probably going to end up being in the present moment very, 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 very wealthy and happy, right? So just been a lot of this stuff here, right? So again, I believe that gold could be going through the similar cycle here, right? Look at this, start of 70s boom, then we went through a bit of a pullback, right? And then we went right, and then the later half, 1966, 1977, we started what? An incredible move up. This is the same for silver as well too, right? Look what silver did here. All right, so if I go back to the silver price, look what silver did. Silver was an absolute wildcat, right? Look at that there. All right, look at this here. Silver was an absolute wildcat, right? Up, sideways, and then away we go, right? Away we go. But isn't that actually interesting, guys? Look at this here, right? Check this out. This is the exact same thing. This is pretty much what silver's doing right now. Silver actually went for a bit of a move, didn't it? It went for a nice move up in what? In the start of the 2020s. Right? And what's silver been doing lately? This here. Right? Now, what does that mean? That means that silver could still keep doing that, really, for another couple of years. Right? So when I say there's a big breakout coming, there is. But it's in a couple of years. Or actually, we don't know when, right? I'm just very, very confident to see this sort of action happening once again when it does start to break out. Can you imagine doing an options trade, guys, on an SLV on something like this move here, right? I'll tell you right now, guys, people that understand this sort of stuff and are educated, and that's the reason why I do what I do with my coaching program and the course below and so on and so forth. People that are educated around the stuff that I'm teaching you here, when the time starts to kick in there, and we can start to see from a chart perspective when it's likely to kick in. And again, guys, this is not going to kick in probably to after the election, but it's having this in the back of your mind and being patient and ready for it. You can start to, millions and millions and millions of dollars are going to happen in this sector here. And I also do believe the same thing for the mining sector, right? So for example, the GDXJ. I honestly do believe that the GDXJ is the GDXJ for me, guys. The GDXJ for me is one of those sectors that I truly believe that in that next inflationary spike that we're going to get, okay, in the next inflationary spike, we're going to see this thing absolutely just take off. And again, guys, this is where when you start to see this sort of stuff happening, right, and you start to see it all coming together from a big picture perspective, and you start to buy what we call leap years of options, right, where you can buy like 2 and 3 years of time, and you start to get in at pretty good times. Your options are going to absolutely explode. And this is where, guys, I truly believe, by 2030, and I say by 2030, guys, because guess what? What we all know, right? And I'm in two mind frames here. One is just saying 2030, I want to know what's happening today, John, so I can make money today, right? See, that's a big issue, right? So yes, yeah. If you want to make money today, guess what? You have to have a trading system, a trading setup, right? You've just got to have that in place so you can what? So you can start to trade today and actually look for setups that are going to make money today, right? But where is the big money made? Where is the real big money, right? We're talking about real big money made. The big money made is jumping from big trends, right? Now, big trends what? Generally take time, right? That's not one day, 1 week. No, it's generally over several years where really big long-term trends kick into play. And that's what I'm talking about here. So I truly believe, guys, that what we're looking at here, and from that secondary spike that is coming, guess what's going to cause deflation? Guess what's going to cause that secondary spike? Just like it's happened in the last 100 years, we've got a inflationary spike, then a deflationary period, and then a secondary spike. As I went through with what? With this point through here, right? Look at this here. Once again, spike, double spike, spike, double spike, spike, and then we're going to go through a double spike through here. So this is just, guys, just a bit of a longer term perspective to see what's happening here. But I believe one of the greatest bull markets of our lifetime, really of our lifetime, is going to start. Like, you think the crypto market was big and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, right? If you think some of the markets were big, like yeah, right? I say yeah, because I believe the mining sector and the metals and so on and so forth, probably, and as I said before, if I'm looking at a timing perspective, it's probably going to kick in really on the latter half of this decade. So 25, 26, 2025, the 2025 year, 2026 year, right? So I'm talking about that whole year period where I believe that this is likely to start to kick in. So for the long-term perspective, I believe there's going to be some incredible opportunities coming our way.